What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Hellbeard Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a magnificent set of battles at the Sacred Pools saw the wardens thereof proving themselves as worthy foes to our advance. A very close call, but we were able to overcome the enemy and destroy the faction, and just like it's before them. And by the looks of it, we'll have to go down to deal with the lizards otherwise, or prepare to attack the rats at the same time, which is going to be interesting. Otherwise, we are poised to attack the Great Turtle Isle, capital of the accursed troop, and continue pressing the Slaneshi to their destruction, and are very much on the approach to the Mine of the Bearded Skulls, which is one of our campaign goals. Now, in terms of what we got to do this turn before we attack, first of all, Abnagg Hellbeard, we're going to use you to recruit some stuff, so you're going to head out to Talashland, since you have picked up your Urfather's Crown trait, and will be ready to command an army eventually. You're not bellicose, unfortunately, but we can still pick you up armor and get some decent stuff out of it. Though, admittedly, bellicose would be good on the infernal glaives or infernal guard with fire glaives. I will consider what we might want to pick up in terms of your particular army type and what we want to do with you. What do you do for consider diplomatic relations, character experience, hero recruit rank, and fire resistance for hero? I wish it was fire resistance for the entire army rather than heroes. Frankly, I wish that any of the lords had just, you know, a big pile of fire resistance for the entire army. It feels like that's a trait that would go over well, rather, on various Chaos Dwarf lords. And I'm surprised it isn't in it. And once more, I am tremendously annoyed by the fact that the Kadai Fireborn have only 40% fire resistance. I find that insane. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's the same amount as an Infernal Guard unit. They're made of flesh and bone. This is a thing made of fire. How do you have the same fire resistance? It makes no sense, and I will keep ranting on it about it until they change it. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? You guys will need to reinforce against Itza most likely. I don't think the rats will declare war on us as yet, so we're probably free to move. I just gotta be sure that... Wait, where are you? Are you in need of channeling? No, you're not. Alright, so let's head you into Itza. And, alright, I keep forgetting to change that back to reasonable speed rather than super fast, but all good for now. You guys will all move together for now, like so, and like so. And then one of you, at least for now, will pick up both of these guys. Well, actually, you know what? Let's put them both into Izdubar's army. And they're not going to stay with the other hero, but some of them might. Let's do that. Like so, because you are probably going to recruit some Bull Centaurs, Bull Centaur Renders. You are going to go into Genina and hopefully pick up that Father's Crown trait next. Next, we were talking about raising the Awakening, so we'll rush this construction in order specifically to rush this construction, because it reduces the cost of all the other constructions. You will now be a tier 3 for only 1.9k, which is pretty darn solid, and we may as well just upgrade everything here because it's quite cheap now. And this increases refinery and armament output alike. I'm going to say in this particular place we will want... frankly, neither one matters, although it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to say the money is probably more critical. And it increases it by... Wait, curiosity. They both by 20%, eh? And then what about the commandment? 20% for refinery buildings, 10% for armaments output. Alright, well then, let's go for a gold refinery then. Yes, gold refinery here in Poxmarch. Frankly, we could also use defenses here, and I'm just going to hope that it doesn't get taken while, you know, it's undefended, but this coastline is always going to be in pretty bad shape in terms of actually defending it. Anyway, we're not going to rush any of the rest of this, much as it would do us some good. I mean, I guess we could rush to this one in order to start making the money. Although it would immediately... Nah, you know what? Keep the raw materials for the turn. Let us swap in a little bit of labor here. We don't need a lot, so maybe 200 or so into Jungle of Webs. Alright, where do we have a spare bit? These two places are fine as they are, so I'm going to say out of Piranha Swamps and into Jungle of Webs, like so. Alrighty, that decides that. We do have a little bit in the way of raw materials remaining, and we do have a new tower, so let's build the patrol routes for the adjacency, eventual adjacency bonus, as well as the donation barrel for a little bit of free cash. I feel like we can do the same thing here, though I did want to get another one of these chains for the additional capacities. Both decent options. And thusly, I will not think about them for now. Oh, Blood Hall, let's get you the donation barrel, then. It's reasonably cheap, and I believe that's it for now. Let's hold on to the last little bit of raw materials that we have remaining. Alrighty, the rest of that is good, so not ending the turn, but rather attacking. RuinusInsight, let's start this particular day off with another fight against the Slaaneshi. Go. You know what, actually? I think these guys, yeah, we're finally going to make you into a Hobgoblin Bolt Thrower. Make a third one. There you go, and you're at a higher rank, so it's just bothering me that that was one unit like that. Don't worry, we will have other armies that will have some Hobgob archers and stuff, it's just that this army is fairly particular, and once again, will eventually split off into a halved force, it's just that still can't afford it. Anyway, go. Alrighty, here we go. Now, the Great Turtle Isle is probably the Accursed Troops' last major stronghold. Although the Slaaneshi guys actually look pretty good with the combination of the Lizardman City, or the Temple City. But anyway, what was I saying? Alright, this is probably the last major stronghold of the Accursed Troop, and thusly, if we should be able to wipe out the faction in this particular episode, this is probably the very last time that we'll be fighting Slaanesh in this campaign. Certainly, we have set ourselves against Chaos and the forces of destruction and Chaos, but I don't think there's any Slaaneshi that's close enough to offer us any fight anymore. I mean, in theory, there's Marathi relatively close by, but the other Slaaneshi faction that's near us is probably one that's near Kairos, and that's pretty darn far, and we may never even come into contact with them, so, yeah, no. Anyway, we bring down the tower rather quickly with our bolt throwers, and let's just speed this up real quick. Bring down the gate and make a few holes in them there walls, and then get ready to move on. And I get really annoyed when the AI positions a hero like this. It's actually, I mean, it's a good move, but it's kind of abusing the mechanics a little bit, but fortunately it looks like it's moved away. Anyway, when you position a hero right there, all the units that are outside have a tendency to try to target that hero, and the crenellations will block off every shot, which is quite the irritant. But it specifically over the gatehouse. But here on top of the wall, not over the gatehouse, much better. The Keltis moved back there. And see, this is what I'm talking about. And the units with the auto fire have a tendency to target that specific unit. And it's weird that this works this way because, I mean, obviously we know that units will not target other stuff, you know, when they think things are blocking it. But then here, they'll use all of their ammunition just firing into the wall here to hit a target that's impossible to hit. But that's the game for you. Alrighty, let's just speed this up as we move everybody in, and they all kind of separated from each other. Oh, they probably moved their ranks through the Hobgob Sneaky Git lines. And that's fine. The gate has been broken through, and one of the walls has been broken as well, and I was hoping that the gatehouse collapsing would also remove all the Krenels, or the Merlins rather, but alas, not the case. Oh well, we'll just penetrate the wall one more time. Alrighty, and then we'll also speed it up. I mean, just seeing the units fire away at stuff is not the most interesting, and the enemy can't really fight back in the minor, in the settlement, in the walls, behind the walls, whatever you want to call it. And the Cultist of Slaanesh has foolishly moved away from that position that made it invincible. And now the arrows continue to fly, and I'm not entirely sure why the AI decided to position its demon nets facing away from us, so this is definitely not the good idea, and they rapidly lose about 3/4 of their HP. And the wall is down to about 2k HP and will soon be penetrated, and our units are floating overhead, irritating the enemy with the occasional bit of pistol fire. And since the AI has effectively no anti-air, there is absolutely nothing they can do about that. Granted, the little pistol shots don't really do all that much in the way of damage. In fact, out of curiosity, we've got 7 kills and 753 damage. Yeah, really not all that much. However, we can increase a little bit by launching the occasional fireball at the enemy. I was hoping to execute that cultist with one, but alas, no dice. But I'm sure it'll get executed. Our way did it get executed? No, it's right there. It's right there. But it's all good. It's time for us to make our way into the enemy settlement. We'll herald our arrival with the summoning of the Kadai Fireborn in front of the enemy Chaos Spawn of Slaanesh. Now this kind of breaks the spawn's charge. Granted, it will severely damage the Kadai, which are very fragile units, and would lose, I guess, in a one-on-one with a unit of spawn, but that's alright, since their charge being broken allows us to stream more units into the enemy settlement, and continue firing at the enemy at that, while our lords and heroes hover overhead and watch the action. Which again does seem very lorefully appropriate for the Chaos Dwarfs. And the enemy Chaos Sorcerer Lord, or is it just regular Chaos Lord? It doesn't really matter. Chaos Lord by the looks of it. Moves on in and gets bogged down by several thousand goblin laborers, and we will touch down with our own lord and start attacking him. I would say Rugni has the weaker stats, but the Chaos Lord does get hit with the enfeebling foe from the Lamasu, plus approximately several thousand arrows from our units of wolf raiders outside the settlement. He's down to half HP, though admittedly the Overseer is getting damaged as well, while the rest of our units keep hovering overhead. Frankly, there was no actual real reason to have the Overseer to come down. It was just for the fun of it. We could just kill all the enemies with arrow fire while the Hobgobs block us off, or block them off for us. Which, once again, is both a tried and true and a lorefully appropriate strategy. And Chaos Spawn are in the fight, but they do have a lot of gobs to break through, and between the crooked dice and the armor of contempt on them, they have 18 to 53 mal attack and defense, and 38 armor. Pretty solid. And get them a, yeah, get those goblin laborers those buffs in addition to a Cathayan war drum or Xiangnu war drum, and that would allow them to hold the line for quite the while. Then there's something to think about. Anyway, gonna bring down a Searing Doom upon a blob of enemy Hellstriders that have moved on in, and as we can see by the daggers flying into the enemy over the heads of the other troops, it's time for more gobs to make their way into the fray, but it is the gob sneaky gits this time around. And they will dish out plenty of damage at range, applying those daggers with 107 missile strength and bleed causing. And that's certainly something Slaanesh is used to, while we continue hovering overhead with the rest of our units. And that includes keeping the enemy debuffed with the other Trickster's Shard, making them lose all of their physical resistance and just having a tough time against all of those arrows and daggers flying into their faces. And certainly they'll probably kill a few hundred, if not a few thousand of the goblin laborers, but well, they hardly matter to us. It's a beautiful sight, and all it took was 4 Chaos Dwarfs to make it happen, as the rest is all just goblin piles. Alright, and it looks like the Slaaneshi are just about done. There's one unit of devoted Marauders of Slaanesh still in the fight, but with proximity they will shatter, and with that, the battle is ours. Funny little fight, and the Great Turtle Isle will fall to hopefully give us a nice location to get more raw materials out of. Alrighty, there we go. Felt like an appropriate way to conduct a battle for the Chaos Dwarfs. Just send in the pile of goblin laborers while the Bull and Lamasu riding lords cover overhead, sneering in contempt at the ants fighting below. Lovely. And got a little bit of labor out of it, less than I was hoping for, unfortunately, but we should get a little bit more from occupying it as tower-like. So, funnily enough, we could awaken the 1,000 Maws here, but I'm going to say we're not doing that because they wouldn't play nice with the Dwarfs anyway. So we'll occupy his tower, and they wouldn't play nicely with the Cathians either. Yes, occupy his tower. Oh, wait, you still get to run away even though... Huh, I thought if they chose to fight that they wouldn't get to run then. Weird. Oh well. Sword of Might and Spotter Spyglass, neither one I care for, but we can hopefully turn them into something else. Convoy, Great Taurus, good for that guy. I guess some XP got transferred somehow. The annoying thing is this guy who's, well, he probably can't come back and retake Turtle Isle. Watch him steal this. We gotta go to the Sentinels of Jati as fast as possible as well. And you know what, we'll leave the Hobgob bivouacs here for a turn, just in case this guy comes back or another army comes back. I also note... Rating -40. Okay, so these guys appear to be having a bad time against the Tomb Kings here. I do wonder if they're merely being raided or whether they're actually under siege. The garrison or the defenses are pretty minimal. Because I was wondering whether we could make the deserters or deserter... Is it deserters or deserters in this particular question, case? Of Katep... Wondering whether we could make them into our allies. Also, that's a lot of mushroom towers everywhere. Anyway, the turn is, I believe, over. Alright, and I guess we can move on to something else. I'm hoping that I didn't forget anything, but if I did, it's too late. Let's do it. Skip, skip, skip. Outpost? Now we're fine. And then the turn. We are going to be just short of claiming another seat, unfortunately, unless we want to sell off labor, but frankly, probably not. At least I probably don't think that we should do it twice. Even if we maintain that it saves us labor to sell off labor once per turn, at least for now, while everything isn't positive in terms of public order, it eventually will not. And, oh, you are going to go to here to the Sentinels, which, you know, fair enough. Oh, you've really traveled far, too. Alright, looks like we're okay. Sacrifice and Outline performed. The Legion of Asgore destroyed... Huh, what does that do to the tower slots that they once held? I believe they are still... Huh? Will they disappear next turn? What'll happen? Huh. Weird. I wasn't going to confederate everybody in this particular run, at least not the... Wait. Confederate with the War Host of Jar. Confederate with the Legion of Asgore, who are dead. Confederate with the Servants of the Conclave, which is Jar Nagrund. You can't confederate Astrogoth? Huh. I did not know this. That's curious. So we're permanently going to be stuck with... just him stealing Conclave slots. Granted, he's rather weak, but he might get wiped out by Grimgor in theory, or whoever. Oh, actually, he's actually managed to make his way southward. He's up to 4 settlements now. Good for him. And 8 strength rank 18 and 10 settlements. Once again, good work out of Zatan. Oh, that makes sense because he's not fighting anybody. What is Grimgor doing? Did he get wiped out earlier or something? Go figure. Alright, well, we'll leave that alone for now. It's not yet our problem, though it eventually probably will become our problem. I really wish I knew what was going on down here. I'm almost tempted to send one of our heroes to scout, but alas, I think we have to forgo doing so. I would also like to see Khemri once again. You want to join war against the followers of Nagash? -27. Alright, come on. Kick that Harbinger of Disaster, and then you'll be able to do this. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. If we sell off, we're 1 Conclave influence short. Oh, game. Come on. Alrighty, I guess we gotta get the Gold Sluice up and running here. Again, it's going to be the cheapest place. Almost tempted to rush the construction here, but we'd need to wait until next turn in order to get it up to tier 4 anyway, so... Perhaps not, at least not now. What we will need to do is spend some gold. Oh, darn, I forgot that we need to switch to military doctrine in order to recruit. So, here's what we'll do. We will switch to military doctrine. However, we will also take the time to invest in some of these places so that they're built up. So, it'll be expensive, but... Wow, really? It's 1,000 gold for one of these refineries? Man. Really is expensive. All right, let's do this and this, or 1,000 raw materials, whatever. This, and the sluice gate, and then we'll hold off on these. We did need to still upgrade the iron level, so I guess we want to do this right now. And we don't need to upgrade the fire enclave because actually it's a terrible upgrade. All it does is give us access to Bale Taurus. So yeah, you're gonna stay here, Mr. Abnagg, for a turn or two. Actually, if you're staying here, you could also... I'm sure that several of our other armies could use war drums, so let's build you a couple of war drums. And we can transfer them to the other army, and the next turn we will recruit a couple of the bull centaurs. We'll also need to spend some of the armaments in order to increase their capacity, and we might even build a couple of infernal guard while we're here. Ooh, a hell cannon. That's got potential. There's some good stuff. I mean, if we're going to send them down there, we may as well recruit some stuff, because I wanted to split off multiple armies. And it's just the armament capacity and the income that will decide matters. Anyway, you gotta be kidding me. You can't jump all the way here? Well, that's just infuriating. Really? I really don't want to spend 2 turns. What's the likelihood that you can go here and then still reach the sentinels? I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. You're going to go here? And we shall see. And you are still with 2 settlements, so we're still okay at the Golden Colossus. I'm tempted to send you to grab that mysterious island. You are Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. I guess the problem with fighting these guys would be if you were to... Oh, you can't intercept while at sea, right? Like, you're free to jump here and follow, unless I'm mistaken. At least I hope you are. You two can actually... you know what? Yeah, since you can jump a little bit further, you might actually be able to reach the sentinels, whereas these guys might not. If only... We could risk jumping here, but if these guys have a stack here, it's not gonna work. Oh, now they're under siege, darn. I was hoping that they would retain their settlement, but oh well. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to forego that mysterious island, go right here. Like so. Alrighty, we also need to do this before the Cathans arrive to steal our glory. Opportunistic AIs have a tendency. Alright, you guys, I'm going to put you into channeling stance, and... Ooh, you cost us a lot by not... Wait, what's the magic like here? -10 and blowing. Okay, so go here to Echelodal. You will not lose magics, in fact you will gain magics, and we can keep an eye on all of this for now. You guys are kind of... Okay, you go to Quetzal, I guess. You go here, you go here. Maybe this does save enough time to make it worth it. Anyway, stay. And stay, you guys are good. Alright, anybody else? Sumayazgax, you are still trying to get a trait. Speaking of traits, Overseer, no, still no dice. Eventually, game, eventually. How are our convoys doing? 4 and 1 turn, Ironbearer convoy, about to get some labor in, which will be good for when we deal with you. Do we have any of the other mine upgrades? Yeah, let's do the mine shaft at the Chamber of Visions. You're collecting, you're good. Oh, you're losing public order? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Do you have the event up and running? You do for 2 more turns. What about you? We need to make sure that these places' public order remains in decent shape. Also, let's see. +12, -3, +7, -8 here, but it can rest. Yeah. Mosquito pools. Oh, right, it has no outpost. Right. Okay. The rest of that is fine. Diplo check real quick, just in case we get another trade agreement going with. Ah, frickin' chaos. And doesn't look like anybody else. Itza does not want peace. Followers of Nagash do not want peace. Strength rank 73 versus strength rank 61. Looks like these guys might have taken out an army from each other, but the Tomb Kings get infinite free armies, so they have the better situation there. Oh, also, let's check heroes for a second. Ability Wayfarer Vanguard deployment, eh? Huh. That could potentially be interesting, though we could technically overwrite that with an item, but it's really something to think about. Castellan... No, we're looking specifically for the ones that reduce upkeep for our new units, so they're gonna have to wait. Skip, and turn. Let's see how the Slaneshi react to all this. As much as I'd like the upkeep reduction thing, I think maybe we'll take the public order thing first. As in the next seat in the tower. Also, I would like to see whether the seats in the tower that the Legion of Asgore held will disappear next turn or no. I mean, how can the faction have seats that are when it's a dead faction, right? Alright, doesn't look like any new attacks on us this particular turn, fair enough. And hey, yeah, you do have to be in the settlement, not the region. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but good for you, buddy. You no longer need to sit here then, sir. You can similarly go to Talashland, as we'll use you to recruit new stuff. We've got the Ruinous negotiations and the convoy completed. Powerful Berserker, income from raiding and income from sacking, and a Mammoth with a War Shrine. Alright, I gotta remember to, you know what, let's take away that Powerful Berserker from you right now before I forget. Like so, and then we'll pop that into an army. Good. Great Taurus for the convoy, and Executioner's Axe, useless garbage because of the Executor trait. And then, I would like to double check. Nope, damn it. Just gonna have to keep checking those. Next, we will take a Tower of Jar seat. Yeah, they haven't disappeared. Go figure. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna say we go for the High Commissioner, just for the control +3, and the raw material thing is great, and then we'll move to Infernatus next. So we'll claim this seat. There we go, +3 to control, beautiful. It'll be quite helpful. Then, the convoys. First of all, you, convoy coming back, will need to level, just so that I don't forget. Only the 1 point, mind you, but let's start with the cargo capacity. It's cost of, yeah, let's go with the cargo capacity. Alrighty, good for you. And then we need to send a new convoy out, so... Where have we not been, is the question. Oh, you're one of the new convoys, eh? What do we have here, by the way? We have Covert. You know what? I'm actually kind of tempted to take another Covert one. The character XP gain per turn is actually quite lovely, so we'll take you. One of the new guys. And we could do something simple like send you to the Great Hall of Greasus really close by to make some... Oh, wait, actually, no, wait, let's level you first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like so. And that's you. Admaster. And I guess we send you either to Greasus's place or... Oh, wait, we can increase this further. For 500, we could send you to... I wanted the influx a little bit sooner. 8 turns. 735 versus 3 turns for 500. This seems just more worth it. To travel the short distances. I think there's one place that we haven't been to, I think, but I no longer remember where it was. Have we actually been to the Silver Tower of Sorcerers, or did we just bypass it? No, I think we got the Champions of Slaanesh. Wait, have we been to Troll Fjord? We've been to Bay of Blades. Heh. I am not entirely sure. We've been to Drakenhof. We've definitely been to Black Crag and Wizard Caliph's Palace. Not sure. Anyway, good luck, sir. Go. Alrighty, and what about the convoy that's been traveling for a while? That's the... it's this one, right? No levels? No levels. Fair enough. Technology. I guess we may as well just keep going through tyrannical decrees. We were looking towards going through metallurgy into conclave dominance for the additional conclave dominance. For the additional conclave influence per turn, and I think that has not changed. Next up is Dubar. Oh, wait, no, not is Dubar. You guys. Can you reach the place? Ah, by the looks of it, you cannot. A shame, but not a surprise, I would say. Alright, so we're gonna move you here. And we're gonna move you to Tefella. And I'm going to hope that the Tomb Kings don't suddenly arrive and start taking our stuff here. And also, hopefully these guys don't just go past you towards the Chamber of Visions, but, well, if it happens, it happens. Is this place still under siege? It is not. Ah, I probably got sacked. Yeah, if we had been able to take this in one turn, we would have been able to go through here. Ah, you couldn't jump far enough, and I blame you. Anyway, Dubar, back to you, sir. In theory, we could spend a few turns here while we wait. Lord Skrolk is still very much in the fight against Itza, who have recovered an army. I'm a little bit wary of crossing these guys' territory for now, though, so you know what? Maybe we'll just sit here and channel. And then you can sit here and channel. It'll cost us an extra 70 gold, but who cares? And then you are good. So yeah, just sit here. We could, in theory, raid the Altar of the Horned Rat, but it probably wouldn't give us all that much. And... not sure it'll... Actually, let's give it a shot. Wait, how much do these guys hate us? Enough. I actually don't really want to menace them into attacking us at the current time. Oh, they seem to have lost their main stack against Lord Skrulk. That's quite interesting. Maybe they won't attack us. Maybe they'll just allow us to raid it for a turn or two. All right, let's see how much labor and money we get out of this. 1436 goes to... a little bit. All right, fair enough. Do that. Diplomacy check. What do we got here? Nothing. Hello, new trade agreements. But only with chaotic factions, which again we can't do in this particular campaign, so we're just going to have to let it go. Then we will want to check the coastline, but I don't see anything as yet. I think we checked the Lords of the Overseers this turn, yes. Alrighty, then. I did say we wanted to rush this in order to upgrade it to the next level immediately. Wait, actually. We don't have enough, do we? Ah, we're just short. Well, that's a shame, but it is what it is. Alright, let's grab the Black Sluice Water Gates, whatever it is, and upgrade that, and then hold off on upgrading anything else, and just go to next turn then. May as well go forward. Oh, wait, no, not go to next turn. I forgot two things. Thing the first, go to armaments, Hellforge. Increase render capacity. Good lord, they are insanely expensive. Then we will go for... they're all at the same cost. I imagine that... yeah, I'm just going to go with the great weapons for the anti-large. It's a bigger bonus, and, you know, large units will probably be the bigger problem for the stuff. So, yeah, let's do this for 1,000. Not so expensive. And we could start with our first unit of Infernal Guard. Let's get some shielded ones. And we don't have the... wait, this doesn't increase the... it doesn't increase the capacity here, which we will need in this particular province, which is an indication to build, I believe, the living quarters, local recruitment capacity +2. However, we will want to build a great kiln here, because this particular location allows us to recruit with the melee defense bonus, slight though it may be. Alright, you are war drums, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, slight melee defense bonus. You know what? Maybe go for the Hell Cannon instead. It's only one, for now. And we need multiples of these guys as well. Well, I mean, we don't really need them, but, you know. You know? Anyway, I believe we are good, minus the Infernal Guard check. Infernal Guard check real quick. Resentful, not the type I was thinking of. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, all of these are good, it's just that the upkeep reduction one is better for now. Alright, skip, 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 and then the turn. Cathans are probably going to land, which I can't say I like very much, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna hope that they don't go for the Golden Colossus. Okay, they landed in not the best place for them. Did these guys lose their territory at the Golden Colossus? By the looks of it, not yet. Honestly, if we can take the Golden Colossus without the Tomb Kings taking it, we might actually be able to trade it to them for military access, or military alliance. Though I do wonder... I do wonder how the liberated Dwarf faction will feel about it. I mean, they have been fighting chaos and such, so maybe not so bad. Anyway, what is this? The Path of Fire enables attrition for 3 turns. Take attrition and reduce journey time. Isn't your journey time 2 more turns, meaning you should be fine? Through the Flames. Does that actually reduce journey time? By 1. Right? Yeah. Alright, fair enough. I mean, it's a short trip, and that looks good to me. Also, does anybody remember if the unilateral agreements is retroactive, as in all convoys get an additional income from trade tariffs for every completed convoy route? And does that start from the point that you get this unilateral agreements tech, or does it start from the very first one you did? As in, do we need to rush it is the question. Considering we don't make a lot of money via trade, it's not super critical. Some ruins, these guys are still fighting. You wanna join? Really? You gotta fight Clan Moors now? Frickin', why do you fight anybody other than Arcan, Cetra? It's like the game is purposely not having the two fight each other. Obnoxious. Anyway, what was I going to do? Yes, build up this place. So we will rush you now, since we can afford it, and we will build you up to tier 4. Still have a little bit of remaining, so we could, in theory... I mean, we may as well just build everything here, because once again, it's never going to be cheaper. Like so, and we will not be able to afford you. Next up, you're still recruiting. And we can't rush a public order building. This will give us fire glaives, but we are waiting for the building to be constructed, and we will recruit some stuff, and we will also need to counteract the insane cost of all those units. Is this still under siege? Doesn't look like it, at least not yet. You, are you able to walk past it? Not really. Maybe a little bit, actually. You know what? Then we will use you to attack the place. Like so. Oh, wow. That's actually a solid garrison. What the heck? Is this a minor settlement? Oh, it's a minor settlement. I was wondering why this garrison was so good compared to some of the others. You will go into regular stance. Actually, you know what? Go into encamp stance, and we will go back into regular stance after. I just want the additional melee defense. And then you go here. You can do two-can channel. I don't really care. And then I guess we're going in. Gordas has no levels, and that's the important one. Yeah, wait, I lied. That's not the only important one. You grab a bloodied bombardment to increase the capabilities of the little bolt throwers. All right, now go in. Alright, well, somebody's talkative today. Here we go. From major siege to minor settlement battle. At max speed, it makes the Lamasu and the bull, the great Tauruses look more like bats than it does bulls with the way that their wings move so fast. But anyway, we got a minor settlement before us, and, well, we're gonna have to make our way up that ramp and destroy the enemies therein, but I do believe we do have the advantage. A lot of range fire coming in from the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders as we start to position ourselves on top of the ramp, and of course we have casting capabilities and all of that as well. Not much in the way of artillery, as the Hobgob bolt throwers can't be expected to do all that much damage, but, well, something's better than nothing and all that. Anyway, let's just speed this up as we make our way up the ramp, and there we go. The first unit is a unit of summoned Hobgob Cutthroats from Mr. Gorda's Backstabber, and they will distract some of the enemy demonettes, which will start tearing them to shreds. Our own range fire will aid in that, tearing or helping to tear them to shreds as well. And the Exalted Demonettes of Slaanesh down from 30 to mere 10 physical resistance, thanks to that other Trickster Shard. A great item to have when you're fighting the demonic forces. And you have a flying unit to position over them to make sure that they're nicely debuffed. The first of the Demonettes units is pretty much destroyed, down to 5% of their HP, and a unit of Spawn of Slaanesh makes their way to the top of the ramp. Pretty bad idea on their part, as they really shouldn't crest to the ramp like that, because it allows us to hit them with range fire, i.e. the bolt throwers, see them nicely silhouetted against the horizon like this, as the Goblin Laborers keep them pinned in place. And of course, all of our range units, our Hobgob Wolf Raiders, keep firing away at those spawn. And I'm sure the spawn will mince a fair few units. 65 kills already on one of them and 18 kills on the other. Ooh, and our units of Sneaky Gits are going to move on in as well. Might as well allow them to chuck a few daggers. I do believe any gobs that fly further than this, like fly all the way down the ramp, are instantly killed, so the charges could potentially be fairly devastating to us. But once again, they're mere gobs. And similar to our lords hovering above, we've got Gordas watching, getting ready to make his way into the fight when he pleases. Or when we need him to. But we also need him here to provide buffs to the units via the occasional rolled dice. Alrighty, well, between the daggers and between the arrows, the spawn of Slaanesh have been taken out. The rest of our units continue hovering overhead, watching the action. And the enemy just keeps sending marauders and demonettes and chaos spawn our way. But look at all those piles of gobs before them. And it's gotta be a scary sight. I mean, scary-ish sight. I suppose any individual unit is probably not too scared of the piles and piles of gobs. And, why are these guys facing this way? What are you doing? Hey, just trying to look at the camera there. Alright, but anyway. Now, looks like the battle is very close to ours already, with the balance power at about 90% in our favor. Another Chaos Spawn unit charges on in, but the do start to get brought down by dagger and by arrow fire. And there's still plenty more gob laborers for them to work through. At this point, we've withdrawn, let's see, 1, 2, I think these ones withdrew as well. About 4 units that suffered either too severe damage or got scared off, but suffering damage to our goblin laborers means we've effectively suffered no damage whatsoever. And we gotta remember the summons as well. Gordas gets another unit of cutthroats on field to block the new enemies off. And their casualties matter even less than those of the laborers. Alright, just enjoying the action. Tactically, there isn't too much to say about this. It's take the ramp and win. And just keep sending our units up there until we run out of ammunition, which we are starting to look towards doing. About 20% ammunition remaining on our Wolf Raiders, and about half of the ammunition remaining on the Bolt Throwers, which are about 7.5k HP and damage. Since we're running out of ammo, we're going to add a little bit more magics to the fray, dropping another Searing Doom down in the midst of the enemy piles of units. Taking out many a Marauder and Hellstrider, not doing too much damage to those Chaos Spawn, but the range units will do that work for us. A and B, the balance of power has shifted to 100% in our favor, and the battle is ours. Only the unbreakable Chaos Spawn remain, and they will drown in a sea of arrows, daggers, and bodies. It's not the way that they wanted that. Anyway, with that, the battle is done. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, wait, is somebody still not shattered? No, I think we're just gonna have to move into proximity and then the last unit will shatter. But we can do that off screen. Alrighty, there we go. Ooh, free Razor Standard. Decent garrison or not, or perhaps an indecent garrison. It still wasn't enough to overcome the, well, you know, giant piles of laborers, and, well, they never even got to really fight the Hobgob. Sneaky gets, though. This one still did 11k damage just by chucking daggers at them, and that's still pretty darn solid. Lovely. And we will occupy this place as a... sounds full of shit. Occupy the place as a factory. Because in this particular... we got a factory wall here. It's interesting. Okani, you don't need the Razor Standard, frankly. Well, actually, you could maybe use the... Oh, right, we got a bunch of extra Scarecrow banners. Banners of Swiftness and War Banners are being saved for War Machines, and... could give the 2 Banners of Swiftness to the two Skullcrackers, though they already have Strider, to be fair. Though the Wayfarer isn't too bad for them. I'll think about it. Prominent Secured Turtle Isles, there we go. Immediately swap it into Mestral Architects, and here we will construct the tools manufactory in order to increase the raw materials output from various places. We are looking... like we will no longer need the Hobgob mustering camp here or here, and can then replace them with better stuff. Sentinels, keep hold of the factory walls, at least for now, because it's more critical that we get the Miners' Workshop than anything else, and who knows, rats might jump here as soon as we declare war upon them, so, you know, let's be prepared for it. You, Rugne, go into regular stance, or channeling stance, I lied, and go to the edge of the Sentinels of Shati. Make sure that they can reach, so that, yeah, you can reach them good. And then you two, stay out here. And I'm going to hope that we can then reach this place in one go. We won't be able to. Unless we move further, but it looks like we can't do that. Actually, maybe we can't. Wait, I didn't realize the mask was here. Which of you doesn't have the mask defeat trait? The Rhythm Stilled. The Rhythm Stilled. Wait, are you telling me that Rugni, the most important one, is the only one that doesn't have it? Yeah. I didn't even realize. Go figure. Alright, well, we'll try to get the Rhythm Stilled on him. I should have just gone directly for the mask, but I think she would have been able to back off anyway. Anyway, it looks like then we can't reach the Golden Colossus in one turn, because if she attacks this place, there's no way that we can kill her without the additional range units, yeah. We tear through the blood and fireborn with great ease. You stay here and keep raiding these guys until the other lizardmen or another foe show themselves. You will continue recruiting for the turn. We will also want to double check things. Did I already do that this turn? Maybe I did. Ah! No, I did not, or else I would have gotten the unethical guy. Beautiful. Alrighty, yes, unethical. Fantastic. I'm so happy to see unethical. And I believe we have no capacity for any of the other stuff as yet, but it will grow. Much as I'd love to spend some of the armaments on it right now, we will need them to unlock more stuff here. Maybe a second hell cannon at least. Gotta get at least 2 copies of some units, you know? Anyway, diplomacy check, since maybe I didn't do that either this turn. Ooh, the Western Province is very close to it. You're at war with the war host of Jar. Mission Clan Nest and Rotten Knot. I don't know who those are. Mission Clan Nest. Sure, we'll go for the trade agreement with the Western Provinces. Frankly, if we could do other agreements... Wait, what if we declare war on the Rotten Knot? And no trade agreement? Nah. We'll go the Mission Clan Nest for now. And see if we can't maintain better relations with you. Like so, another Cathan faction. And what about the northern provinces? You are currently also at war with the Rotten Knot? Yeah, you'd be willing to do the trade. Probably not forever, or maybe even not for long, but we will probably get more mileage out of it than anything else. I don't want to declare war on Zatan, at least not right now. Deserters of Katep, or deserters, are still looking okay. And wait, if I didn't check the hero, I didn't check the lords either. Come on, damn it. Someday. Someday. We have not been getting good luck with the getting of considered lords, but I guess finding a considered lord among the Chaos Dwarfs doesn't sound super likely anyway. You can get the tough as nails first. We'll get you Bloodthirsty Rage, don't you worry, dude, but we will want the additional XP, and besides, Esteemed Combatant is actually a very useful trait, especially for when we besiege stuff. And the turn after this. Alright, let's see if this gets besieged again. I would imagine that the mask will retreat to the Golden Colossus. If we can't reach it, will these guys be up? Nah, I don't think so. At least if they do, I will be tremendously annoyed. There's the Followers of Nagash, there's Reichland. I'm actually surprised that the Cult of Pleasure has not declared war on the Jade Court at this point. They've been sharing a border for a while, but I guess Heshwatla and the elves have been managing to keep them out of the way, at least for now. Though how long that's going to last remains to be seen. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to sell off a little bit of labor for Conclave influence. Oh, actually, speaking of... Hey, there we go, Abnagg. You got the Helm of Dreska trade. Research rate, hit points, ward save. Lovely. You're getting to be a pretty strong lord now, having achieved absolutely nothing, but you have the best stuff. Lose the Helm of Dreska, and I guess we will now... Oh, I mean... We'll give you the life of Destiny, the thing of Destiny later, and we'll retool some of the items once we have more armies. Been saving a lot of items, but again, there's a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, military convoys. You're there. We got the long-range convoy up and running again. So, we will take you up, sir. Wait, did you level? You did not level, okay. And we need more labor. There's the Silver Tower of Sorcerers, and funnily enough, we could send you to the Great Hall of Greasus again. Oh, wait, no, the Haunted Forest is not... No. Yeah, I guess we are going to... Huh, we could actually sell a lot of armaments off for a decent chunk of change, but like I said, we do need them for now, so... Admittedly, we also need the gold, so do we need the labor. That's just the life of the Chaos Dwarfs. 804... Oh, wow. Current car gives so much more than double. And I'm willing to bet it doesn't take 16 turns, what the heck? I was tempted to send you to the Great Hall of Greasus and just do a quick journey. Yeah, that's the better way to do it. It's 3 turns, 243 versus 9 turns. It's about the same, isn't it? Although I guess you do have the Chosen of Slanar, so you could pick up another one of them. Screw it, just go this way, whatever. Whatever, just go. Alrighty, then. Labor efficiency. First of all, we need this place to set an example. And we need this place to set an example. think I forgot to do that last turn, so we will have some labor losses. Thusly, we will need to go to a place that's positive in labor, like you, and sacrifices for Jar and Grund, like so, to reduce the labor losses here. Re-up our efficiency a little bit. You, and you, and you, and... Huh? Did I do that wrong? Oh, it's just being buggy again. I guess it's just being buggy again, whatever. What do we have? We have extra here in River Curvets, actually a fair bit extra, and then we'll pop you in here. Like so. This puts it up to +8, +11. We really need the public order there, but otherwise I think we're okay. Nothing will drop below, right? Actually, these two might, but I'm not giving them more. Yeah, the rest of that looks fine. Okay. Then we will desperately need the public order stuff here. So go for the patrol routes immediately. I'd love to upgrade you, but you're going to have to wait a little bit. You can go for the money pit, and you can go for the cheap miner's workshop, at least for now. And just upgrade this. It's 1,000 gold, no big deal. Alrighty, what about back here? I'd love to upgrade the mine shaft. I'm not entirely sure whether we have the cash to do it, though. Oh, no. Where are you going?
In purest form.
I have great concerns about this because... What? I can't even click on you? What the heck? Maybe we can see you, but we haven't actually met your faction. Okay, are you at war with them? No. Oh, actually, yes. Citadel of Dusk is right there. Okay. Then that's fine. Any new trade agreements of consequence? Kazakh, yeah, just Chaos factions, and we're ignoring those for now. Still no... Join war against Grimgor Zard, boys? Now dice. I guess Grimgor is weak in this particular run. Go figure. I'm surprised because I would have figured that Grimgor would be strong because we're playing Chaos Dwarfs, but apparently not. Alright, fair enough. You... Considering that this place is probably going to need defenses, but at the same time, we can build some very cheap stuff here for capacities. And we need capacities of various kinds. We could do a Demonsmith Sorcerer, because one will be needed in Abnagg's army. Alright, fine. Start on that rather than defenses, and I'm just going to hope that if anybody comes along, we'll be able to deal with it. It's kind of risky / iffy, but what can you do? And then let's upgrade all of these, because once again, this place is our cheapest upgradable place. Alrighty, next. You are going to go into Abnagg's army. For now. We will check lords. We will check heroes. No. Volatile. Again, I do like the idea of a volatile one to be a sniper, but for now we'll have to deal with what we've got. Then, I would like one more Hell Cannon. And I would like, let's grab a couple of Eternal Guard and then we'll move. I just don't want to, completely counteract all the gains we've made in terms of money per turn, but we gotta get some new units on field. Efficiency-wise, I wouldn't bother, but, let's play-wise, I kind of need to. So, one Hell Cannon and one Infernal Guard, like so. For now. Oh, I did want to get Fire Glaives as well. Damn it! Alright, grab a Fire Glaive. Alrighty, then you can do... Oh, you can't build the Fire Glaives as yet anyway. Until next turn. I guess we could rush it, but I might as well grab a couple of Infernal Guard. Sword and Board of Infernal Guard, we'll grab the Hell Cannon. We will forgo these guys because they're way too expensive for how good they are, comparatively. We get a lot more mileage out of the Hell Cannon. And we got pretty much any of our heroes riding either one, which makes these types of units kind of irrelevant, to be perfectly honest. Then... I guess we could just fill up the rest of the army with Gob Laborers if we really wanted to. And we may need some extra, but we could always do that over the next turn while we build a couple of Fire Glaives. Actually, I'd love to build 4, but I'm not sure that we'd have the armaments to do so. Terror of Jar, we are looking to get this Infernatus to get the... upkeep reduction. And got a couple more turns of that. Oh, did I do the Conclave selling this turn? I think I did, or at least I hope I did. You guys, you're stuck where you are. You keep raiding. You guys keep channeling. We'll see if anything interesting happens. These guys are pushing where they need to go, so Slana should giggle. Oh, also, you know what? You... Hobgob Sneaky gets the Enthusiasts, so let's get another name on you guys. Some of these guys have definitely earned some names. Sneaky Stabs, like so. And Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, let's go with... What do we have here? Gordiz's Wolf Boys. Like so. Alright, then, because I keep saying it anyway, so then that's not going to change, I'm going to name one Sky Lantern, two Skull Lanterns. Or is it Skull Lantern or Skull Lanterns? Skull Lantern, Sky Lantern. Yeah, well, in SFO there are multiple, but yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Also, before I forget, wait, you're still friendly? Ooh! That's not good. Payments, offer payment. I'm going to give you a small gift right now. What don't you like? Nothing really. All right, take the gift. There you go. I don't want to drop in too low, or else they'll get angry. Man, how are you not liking us more? Come on, man. I'd really prefer not to have to give you more territory, but we gotta have those Cathan units, so it is what it is. And then the other thing, somebody a couple of episodes ago asked if we can rename these guys, and it looks like we can. A mammoth named Bob. There you go. Alrighty. Good enough for now? Good enough for now. Let's end the turn and... Oh, wait. No. Rugni. Oh, you're actually able to reach the Golden Colossus? Oh, no. Yes. Go to the Golden Colossus. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's concerning. Alright, let me just see here. How do you feel about us? Not great. If they attack us, we'd lose. That's 5 armies. This is the army that would prove the problem. Well, we're stuck where we are now, so we have no choice but to immediately attack, win this fight, and then immediately trade the settlement. At the cost of some attrition, I'm sure, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh. Would this guy be able to immediately go to the Sentinels of Jiti and take it? Maybe. So we gotta keep Ukani out? I mean, I guess these guys are here, too. Maybe they will prevent... Oh, but imagine if these guys take this guy takes the Sentinels. Nah, I think we're gonna have to leave Ukani out of the fight. Oh, but he has most of our Gob Laborers. That's not great. What do we have in terms of defenses here? I don't know why I clicked it like that. Oh, actually, I do know why I clicked you. Missions. Ally missions, Mask of Slaanesh. There we go. That was an important one. Then, garrison-wise, we've got... It's actually a fairly weak garrison. And it's only the mask. Frankly... If it wasn't killing these units, I'd auto-resolve it. And we can't risk you attacking this place. Unless... Wait a moment. We do still have something of a garrison. It ain't a good one, but it might be enough to kill these guys off with the Blood and Fireborn. So I think we'll do this. Maybe save the time. You're gonna move forward like this. This might allow us to auto-resolve. It'll still kill this one unit of Gob Labor. Oh, wow. Alright, fine. If it's the mass class fight, then we'll stay here. Then... You're in range of this, aren't you? And they are at war, meaning you should be able to keep it safe. But just in case, we will take our old sorcerer prophet Izdubar the Bullheaded, pop you in here. Like so, to command the garbage garrison. And that should be more than sufficient. Then we attack, take out the Golden Colossus. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Perhaps I spoke too soon about the Great Turtle Isle being the last major settlement of the Slaaneshi, as I didn't realize they still held the Golden Colossus, but at the end of the day, that I suppose won't matter all that much. Here, however, this is the last major settlement, and here we will bear witness to the mask's last dance. Good lord, is she quick. What's the speed? 134. And look at those stats. 85, 85, and 956 weapon strength. Good lord. And that's only at level 20. Well, actually, only at level 22. Level 22 is pretty solid. In fact, her levels are higher than ours are, so good for her. Anyway, not so good for the enemy cultist, I want to say, that decides to run out of the enemy settlement, or lure us, or rather, and into our units, I guess deciding to try to go after... I did not mean to speed it up to max, my bad. While the Allurus, suffice it to say, got deleted. While the Allurus got deleted, however, all three of the enemy Furies surround and attack the Demonsmith Sorcerer. We immediately try to counteract that with the Stand or Die, as well as the Armor of Contempt, bumping his melee defense up to about 80. However, there are so many Furies attacking him at the same time that some of them are getting through. Obviously, there's a minimum amount of chance to hit, so he is slowly but surely taking triple damage and has lost about half of his HP despite the massive disparity in defensive capability. Now, since it's an emergency, we're going to pop off an Overcast Searing Doom to knock many a Fury out of the sky, and then the other arrows will send the rest, or put the rest to flight, would probably be a better turn of phrase for it. And Mr. Hergar Startaker, the Demonsmith Sorcerer. Let's say this would be a great... Hergar Startaker seems like a great name for an actual lord. But anyway, this Demonsmith Sorcerer books it on out of there with half HP remaining. In the meantime, the Mask of Slaanesh has decided to close the distance as well. Blocked now by the Kadai Fireborn, which gets summoned on field and in her way. And she'll probably tear through a few... Good lord, I can't... Okay, it's basically impossible to keep the camera on her when she is moseying around like that. But all good. And kills one of the Kadai by the looks of it, and then just dodges the arrows straight up. They're too slow to actually hit her. Good lord. Alright. I do love me some speedy lords. That's a great thing about Slaanesh. Anyway, the Kadai are pretty much done, but the balance of power is already at 80% in our favor, and the enemy's not having a great day here, and we haven't even entered the enemy settlement in truth. We will start by moving in our single unit of Gob Laborers from our main stack, and get a few more moving in shortly. And getting ready to set up the attack from within the enemy settlement, or the beachhead. Our lords, of course, continue to fire overhead, or hover overhead, while fire continues to rain down on the enemies below, and there we go, Mask of Slaanesh still running around. I thought she'd attempt to close the distance with the Goblin Laborers, but not yet. All good, though. Some Seekers, or Heart Seekers, rather, not regular Seekers, will charge right through that poor unit of Goblin Laborers, which loses about half of its HP on the charge. Actually, I'm surprised they didn't just completely melt away. But I suppose this is one of those rare times that moving in a column like this actually worked to their advantage, as only about half of their number took the damage. But you know, fair enough. Alright, and the Kadai are still fighting, but probably not for too much longer, as their HP is rapidly dropping, though the arrows continue dropping from above, and, well, we got another new unit of Hobgob Cutthroats in. The Laborers have effectively been cleared out. And we'll soon run out of summons and actually have to send in our proper units. But by then, by the looks of it, the enemy army will have been decimated, if not outright destroyed. Alright, not much to say, but here comes the Tormentor's Sword to hold the enemy in place, and now arrows can continue to fall even without the Kadai and the Goblin Laborers to pin the enemy. I'm gonna launch a fireball at the mask. Let's see if she can dodge a homing projectile, and by the looks of it, no. Alright, fireball hits her for about, maybe 25% of her HP. Actually, not so bad. Gonna keep that in mind. Maybe launch another couple of fireballs her way. It's actually interesting, like, what is the AI doing with this unit? Is just keeping on running around, zigzagging. We're not actually directly targeting her with anything as of yet. Go figure. Anyway, time for our units to stream into the enemy settlement, and ooh, Pyrrhic victory from the masks, there might have been a desync towards the end of this fight, but suffice it to say the rest of the enemy were destroyed. Actually, I don't know why it ended right then, but what happened here was we hit the Mask of Slaanesh with the Tormentor Sword. She could, of course, no longer move, and then between the range fire and another set of Overcast double fireballs, the mask just melted and was destroyed. Hey, free Helm of Discord, that's a nice pickup, and with that, the mask falls and her faction is pretty much destroyed, posing no further problems thanks to the Tormentor's sword, ironically tormenting the Slaneshi. Lovely. We got actually a little decent bit of work out of our Hobgoblin Bolters, but this time we actually let our flyers fight rather than sneer in contempt at the units fighting below, and well, it actually almost took out the Demon Smith Sorcerer, as those Furies mobbed him, and, oh wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay. I was remembering where they all were. We will obviously occupy the place as a tower, and then, yeah, we got that mask defeat trade, mission successful, Helm of Discord, Spell Rot, Scepter, no, and keep the standard discipline, I don't care. Wyvern, Bone, Bow, okay, we'll turn those into other items, then, this thing. Trade the Golden Colossus to you for, ooh, you do the trade agreement. Okay, wait. No, give me a minute. Go for the Hobgoblin mustering camp. It costs us 90 to rush it. We will transfer 90 to the Copper Desert. From, let's say, you. Like so. And then we will build a Hobgoblin mustering camp. Like so. Hey, free creator. Good. Then, how much is this worth to you? Oh, so wait, do you have a whole territory? Yeah, you do. And are you at war with the rats? You are not. And the lizards don't actually like you very much. That all works decently well for us. Unless you start taking territory that we want, but in that case, we will kill you. Golden Colossus is now worth a lot more, including a trade agreement. Oh, no military access, though. Damn it. All right, wait. Are any of these worth anything? I don't want to rush it if it's not good. I don't know what's worth more. Vanguard, defensive garrison, or one of these buildings. This generates money and economy building. The reason that we need military access is to go through their territory in order to go to the Mine of the Bearded Skulls. So I suppose we could just jump over their territory. Oh, although it'll consider immediate trespassing if we if we sit here and though these guys no longer at war with the Slaneshi, they might immediately declare war upon us, which is not good. Plus, aligning with these guys who are well liked by the Cathans would potentially mean friendlier Cathans. Damn it. I guess we risk the donation barrel. I feel like the Vanguard might be worth more. If I'm wrong, though, it'll make the battle to retake the place harder when they inevitably attack us. Wait a moment. Do we have a place nearby, like you, the Blood Swamps? Out of curiosity. Oh, we can't trade that to you. Okay, what about the rats? I just want to see how much it's worth. What about Quetzal? Damn it. Blood Swamps? No. Okay, wait. Do we have any other Sentinels of Jati? I think we wouldn't be able to trade, although I would like to check. Yes, it is worth 12. Barely anything. Which is kind of interesting, because considering it does have a defensive structure, compared to, let's say, any of the other places like Quetzal, which is worth 45 by virtue of the strip mine? Or now it could be by virtue of the fact that they hold the Shodel. Okay, what about you? Quetzal. Worth 45 still, but you don't hold any. Okay. Maybe that means economic buildings are worth more than defensive structures, and the only economic building we have here is this one. So we'll do this, and it'll cost 180 to rush it, I take it. Yeah, so we need to transfer 200 to the Copper Desert. From, I don't know, you and you. Copper Desert, like so. Then we will rush this place and see, wait, just so I know for the future, this is currently worth 95. If we transfer this with this, it will be worth 130. Much better. Alrighty, military access, military alliance, and trade agreement. And money. Not a lot of money, but money. Is there any downside to this? The main downside would be potential aversion from the dwarfs, but I'm hoping we could overcome it with sufficient trade territory. Territory trading. Let's do it.
I agree.
Alright, there we go. You agree, sir. You agree. And how are you feeling about us now? Up to 34? Why so little? What the heck? Gifts plus 4. Is it me or is that way too little? What the heck?
Sand and stone.
Maybe it's because it's a Tomb King faction. So that gifts are worth less to them? Weird. Well, hopefully we can maintain the alliance long enough or we'll have to fight them. I wouldn't mind fighting the Tomb Kings, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, principle of the thing at this point. Yeah, we have military access, so we're fine. You guys can channel, and I assume that you two will be fine. You're all gonna be fine. All right. Money and armaments and all are good for now. You're recruiting, and I do believe we're good to go to next turn. Unless I've forgotten something. But if I have, I have. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to use some armaments on these guys. Yeah, but we need... Yeah, all right, let's wait. We'll wait. Armaments on capacities is what I was getting at. We should have really built the Fane Guard at the Awakening. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite us. But if it does, it does. That's, you gotta risky to get the bisky. Alrighty. Let's see if anybody makes a war declaration or otherwise annoys us, and let's just take a look at that friendliness with these Tomb Kings, as averse to us as they are. I curse the troop want peace. Well, to give us a fair bit of cash for our trouble. Yeah, but it'll also anger every single one of these guys for doing it. As in both of our allies, so I'm gonna say no, much as I'd love to take the free cash. And... okay, well, we'll join in on the fun. And we'll take the money. Some of the money that they would have traded to us for peace. And I take it that was indeed their final settlement, and... yes, indeed it was. Wait. Take the Ogre's assistance? Yes, more man-eaters. Always more man-eaters. Faction destroy the Ecstatic Legions and Grimcore Zard Boys, and the Accursed Troop, the one that we're responsible for. Ally begins outpost construction. Hey, Gauntlets of Bajorak the Cruel, yes. These gauntlets are meant for, hey, and a free spiked whip for Kigel Heckhand convoy. More sundering attacks. That'll come in handy. In fact, that could be nice for you with your anti-armor stuff already. Alright, I'll lose the ever-changing blade and grab the spiked whip, sir. There, now you have sundering attacks plus armor reduction plus armor reduction. If we can get more armor reduction, well, it would be even nicer. Kigel Heckhand convoy completed, I got that, and we got a free War Hydra out of it, and another Lifebane blade, beautiful. We're getting plenty of items, we just need to be able to afford the lords and heroes to give them to. Minus 40. They're gonna betray us, they're going to cancel their agreement with us. I didn't know that the gifts would be so worthless to the Tomb Kings. Well, it's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We'll just have to deal with them. It might actually mean keeping the factory walls here at the Sentinels for these guys attack us. But I guess we'll have to wait until they betray all of our agreements with us. Plus, I suppose if they betray our agreements with them, the Cathayans will get angry at them, because the Cathayans like us decently well, and thereby allow us to fight them without pissing off the Cathayans. So either way, I suppose it will serve its purpose. Anyway, do we have anybody off the coasts? Not yet. Huh. Higgins Errantry, I take it, have been revived by these guys, and they are still holding on. Now the fight is still ongoing. Camry, will you fight against followers of Nagash? Minus 27. What if we declare war on Clan Moors? No dice. Alright, we'll just keep an eye on you then, buddy. Alrighty, what else do we have as possibilities here? Burgun. Overseer? No. Could we please get a considered guy, please? Bull Centaurs, that's fine. You're still recruiting. Building is here critically, and I think we're fine. Oh, let's build the Altar of Fire. I do believe we also got to send out a convoy. Now, you're returning to the capital having leveled up once. You're returning to capital having leveled up not at all. Alright, so level you. And go into, I guess, cargo capacity to start. And then level you. And then go into, I don't know, cargo capacity to start, I guess, as well. We need all of them anyway. Then, covert, also. Ooh, we got another war machinist. That would be another army with another Skullcracker Dreadquake mortar. Is that better than the self-leveling kind, though? And that's also really nice. 250 per turn isn't a crazy amount, but it does stack quite a bit, so I'm almost tempted to say that the covert ones are better. And ooh, range and missile strength for range units. There's some good convoy stuff. Nothing is as strong as a Dreadquake, mind you. Well, you know what, for now we'll be fine. Eventually we'll need a third convoy on the way, so we'll see. EU covert can only travel to somewhere close by, so I guess we're gonna send you to Greasy. Oh wow, this is kinda not worth it. We could trade armaments for labor, I suppose. I'm actually almost tempted to trade armaments for money. As odd as that might seem right now, we actually have a little bit in the way of spare armaments that we could get cash out of. You know what? Let's do that. Eventually, money will have no meaning to us, but, well, that eventuality is not right now. Then, we will need to take a look at our efficiency, rather. EU events and events are good. The rest of these are okay, minus the Amazonia territory, but it will fix itself eventually. We will probably want to sell off 200 for sacrifices to Jarna Grund as well. Which I guess is going to be here. Oh, actually here maybe, because where public order is more negative here. So yeah, sacrifices to Jarna Grund, like so. Alright, and that will counteract some of the negatives. Next up, we will probably want to upgrade... Wait, not the money ones, because they're expensive right now. At the very least, too expensive. I'd love to go into billowing smokestacks, but we can't right now. Wait, can't we get control? Oh, we need to upgrade the Chamber of Visions in order to get the control. I don't think we can do that right now, so nothing for money, but yes, things for factories and such. Okay, so this was the critical one, and it's looking pretty okay. We could upgrade any of these eventually, but once Military Doctrine is up, so I guess we upgrade the Great Turtle Isle. Actually, the faster we get it up to tier 3, the more likely we'll be able to get more control, so that's a decent option as well. Plus, we got that Slaneshi corruption falling. We could even position one of you guys in it for a few turns. You are also no longer required, sir. Yeah, just disband you, whatever. Just so that we don't pay for you. And what about you guys? I mean, we do have that military alliance, and I don't expect to be betrayed within the next turn or so. So you're gonna go here, you're gonna go here, and you're gonna go here. Not. Go. Like so. Out of our own territory, mind you, but hopefully it'll fix itself. And we are within striking distance of the Mine of the Bearded Skulls, but we need to be very careful in the way that we approach this, since we share a pretty massive territory, or massive border, with the rats, so we'll probably have to wait a couple of turns until we can split these armies into one army here to defend against rats coming out of Oishul. I assume that we can take Shodel, but we can send a hero out there to scout, and then we'll need one other army to defend the Blood Swamps or the Awakening from potential rats coming out of the Star Tower, or the Fuming Serpent. Yes. Also, how do you guys feel about the Tomb King? Oh, wait, no, that's us. I thought they were in a military alliance with them. No, there's no diplomatic contact. Okay, so there's nothing to be considered there. All right, diplomacy. Wintertooth, and okay, once against chaotic factions. Session Clanist wants peace, but we do not. Goldtooth, still no defensive alliance, eh? Man, why is it so difficult to get ogres, despite the ogre mercenary camp we have, mind you? Also, do you have Inspiring Presence? You do. May as well start going through Armorer now, since you're going to be leading an army soon. You can channel. So in theory, we don't... we'll see. Alrighty, and I believe we're ready to end the turn, somewhat concerningly. There we go. Now, assuming that the Warhost of Jar does not claim the tower seat that we're looking for right now, we got a very important tower seat about to come in. Hey, Tinman's up there. Oh, also, I forgot that this guy was raiding. And that Gorok is most likely back somewhere here. Yeah, once again, the way that we handle the move towards fighting all of these factions is going to be pretty critical. I wonder, did these guys manage to take the place? Frankly, if the elves want to annoy the rats, that works out fairly nicely for us as well. What is this? Take the shortcut, gives us fighting a battle versus not worth it. I mean, I guess we could fight the battle. Granted, we're out of time, but I haven't fought a lot of rats, admittedly. On the other hand, I mean, elite units, but a smaller army. Yeah, take the shortcut. Alrighty, Pyrrhic Victory, we're not going to auto-resolve, however, because this will damage this army too severely, and I'm kind of entertained by the idea, so go. Alright, we may not be able to tell what the heck they're talking about, but I still like listening to the speeches. Anyway, here we go. Our convoy is a pretty nasty one. We got 3 ogre units, but all of that pales in comparison to the Dreadquake mortar train. And these things are absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sure it'll prove that here. I'll launch in those Dreadquakes into the enemy, while our pistol-toting, or man-eaters with ogre pistols to be specific, units of ogres, will be firing away at the enemy Hellbeard Abomination. The enemy army has a pretty long way to travel to our main stack, and we've also hidden 2 of our units of man-eaters in the trees, great weapons and regular weapons, as the enemy death globes and poison winds could potentially be pretty concerning for us to deal with, and thusly we'll want to be able to charge them as needed. Though frankly, a lot of our monstrous units could do the same. Frankly, even our Dreadquake could just, activate full speed, or whatever it's called, the more power thing, increasing its speed and mass and just charging directly towards them. We also have an Iron Demon in this army, and don't worry, we'll get some Iron Demons for ourselves. Also, this battle, will offer us a nice little break from the units of, from fighting Slaanesh, though we do have a Slaaneshi unit of our own here, the Chosen of Slaanesh, supported by a War Shrine, Mammoth War Shrine, that is, with that Giver of Glory and the additional physical resistance that it offers. Anyway, the Dreadquake mortar train continues to fire upon the enemy. Every landed shot a devastating one, and I think every shot has landed. It's got 50 kills so far and 28,000 damage 2 minutes into the battle, before the battle has really begun. By comparison, we have a solid 8.5k damage in the man-eaters with ogre pistols, though they have had to switch away from the Hellpit Abominations as they're being kind of menaced by the rat ogres and master assassins, or at least shadowed. And thusly we have to switch fire to them. Some hidden units of Death Runners attempt to make their way towards us over on the leftmost flank. However, we do hover overhead with our Lord and manage to spot them, allowing us to then summon the Kadai Fireborn in their midst. This is 2 frenzied, high-damage demon but fragile units fighting each other. But I think with all the splash damage coming in from the Kadai, they should be able to destroy a lot, if not all, of the Death Runners, and before they're banished. Or destroyed, I suppose. And frankly, the Death Globes being launched at the Kadai probably helped them on their way. Anyway, the enemy main stack is now moving towards us and is now eating range fire, blunderbusses, and fire arrows from our hobgobs. I'm knocking out rats and rat ogres, and before the rat ogres charge that Iron Demon, we're going to activate more power and move away from the main line just a teensy bit, although the suppression / slowdown that it offers is quite valuable into a range line. Alright, first unit of Storm Vermin are pretty much done. The second unit of Storm Vermin now suppressed as the Iron Demon fires into them, and between that and the poison, they're down to a mere 10 speed, which is real slow for a unit of rats. Oh, that particular rat. Oh, gets obliterated by the Iron Demon. Poor little guy. Alright, come on, fire again. There you go. Huh. Yeah, this thing does seem to fire at only a single unit at a time. Oh well, you know what doesn't attack a single unit at a time? A big old Ragnarok spider heading into the fray to get some Chaos Dwarfs over in the center. Our ogres have rushed out of the tree line now and are making their way towards those death globes and such, while our Mammoth and our Dreadquake just cause havoc in the main enemy line, and by the looks of it, this convoy battle is pretty much ours. In fact, know pretty much about it as the last enemy units shatter, and the battle is indeed ours. Very nice. And very little damage. This is a particularly nasty convoy, and if anybody does attack it once we perhaps declare war on some of the factions on our route, I don't think it's going to help them all that much. Alright, there we go. Quick little fight, but, well, it's our only Dreadquake train for now, and damn well did it deserve some action. 43,000 damage. Oh, what an obnoxious unit. And we will take by the looks of it, money. Yeah? Yeah, money. We could have also healed, but I don't think that army is going to have any real trouble. Ooh, Western Provinces, a new regional power confederation, Chevalier de Lyonesse and Thegan's Errantry, presumably right before they get destroyed here. Tyrannical decrees, good. And, I was gonna say go for metallurgy, but it'll cost us 50 conclave influence, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, we have just enough for the Infernatos, so we go from 895 to 1365. Honestly, that wasn't as big of a change as I thought it would be. Probably could have waited the turn. Not a big deal, though. Alright, fair enough. The more units we have, obviously the bigger advantage that will confer. Also, I suppose, since we did want to get fire glaives, we could get our first Infernal Ironsworn. Yeah, why not? 1 and 2. There we go. And then we'll intersperse these units among several armies. I did want to do 4 Infernal Fire Glaives. Frankly, 4 Infernal Fire Glaives plus some artillery and the 3 blunderbusses would make for a rather nice army, now that I think about it. Well, I'll think about it. We could always recruit for a couple more turns. A few more turns forward isn't a bad thing. What else do we have for... Oh, you know what we have? We're out of time is what we have. So I think, unfortunately, I am going to call this episode here. Let's grab that ammunition caches, or at least start on it, for that additional Infernal Castellan capacity, especially since for now they cost gold rather than this stuff, and we do want more of those guys to make our units cheaper. Anyway, like I said, right at time, I'm calling it here. Next time we will recruit for a little while, and then position our new armies in such a way as to begin the war against all of this, and most likely move to the Mine of the Bearded Skulls and revive the dwarfs therein, hopefully successfully. We shall see. A little bit worried about it, but we'll need to rapidly take settlements in order to transfer 2 of them. We could also maybe wait until the plague runs its course out 2 turns. Anyway, stay tuned for that and how well that works out. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.